In the fourth chapter, Critical Thinking and Meta-Literacy, Cook describes the tools that librarians can use to combat all of this disinformation. First, she suggests the need to expand critical thinking skills among patrons, explaining that we should be encouraging questioning of all informational materials in constructive, truth-searching ways. Critical information literacy and digital literacy are skills that are essential in determining the validity of the news and other media. This will allow users to consider the larger context a piece of media is contained within. Beyond these more basic forms of information literacy, Cook advocates for a meta-literacy approach to information. Defined by Cook, meta-literacy asks us to understand the format, type, and delivery mode of information, evaluate dynamic content critically, evaluate user feedback of information, produce original content in multiple media formats, create a context for user-generated information, understand personal privacy, information ethics, and intellectual property issues, and share information in participatory environments. Therefore, she argues that because meta-literacy emphasizes the consumer while also paying attention to context, librarians should adopt this framework for knowledge acquisition and impart it to their patrons. In Chapter 5, the conclusion, Dr. Cook begins with an examination of headlines she had first presented in Chapter 1, headlines that might seem outrageous or misleading, and clarifies the truth to these headlines, if there is any at all. After this, she includes many tips for recognizing fake news and questionable information put before us. Most of these tips concern questioning oneself and remaining open to the possibility of differences in our impressions. She closes with tips for a lesson plan on information literacy and some information from her own lessons. Overall, this is a book about information bias and how libraries and educators can contribute to a more meta-literate world. Dr. Cook encourages librarians to become as literate in digital information as possible and to share this literacy with patrons. Now for my review. Dr. Cook has written an excellent, cogent little book here. The one criticism I can level at it is that it is quite short, clocking in at just 48 pages. That left me wanting a little bit more. I would have liked to hear a little bit more about the different learning theories she talks about in Chapter 2, for example, or some more real-life examples from her own teaching that have helped her in this battle being waged against fake news. Besides that, however, I think this book serves an important purpose. It is a call to action for librarians and educators, and I would absolutely recommend it to fellow information professionals. And I also here have my citation. Thank you.